Ever dreamed of moving somewhere and getting paid for it? Well, you're in luck. In this video, we're going to explore 10 cities around the world that offer some of the best cash giveaways. These cities not only welcome you with open arms, but also with financial benefits, making life in these places even sweeter. We're talking straight up cash, people, just for being a resident. Stick around to learn how you could start receiving money just for being a resident. Some of these places might surprise you. First up is Alaska. Now, I know what you're thinking. Alaska, it's freezing up there, but hear me out. Thanks to its massive oil revenues, Alaska has this thing called the Permanent Fund Dividend, or PFD. Think of it like this. You're a part owner of Alaska, and every year they cut you a check for just being there. In recent years, this has been around $1,600 per person. Not bad for seeing a moose on your morning commute, right? Now, I'm not saying you're going to get rich off the PFD alone, but it's a nice bonus. Plus, Alaska is insanely beautiful. We're talking towering mountains, glaciers, incredible wildlife. Just make sure you invest in a good winter coat because it gets cold up there. Next up, we're heading over to Europe, to the beautiful city of Utrecht in the Netherlands. Utrecht has been making headlines lately for its innovative approach to social welfare. Universal basic income. Selected participants in Utrecht receive a fixed amount of money each month regardless of their employment status. The goal here is to see how this impacts things like unemployment, poverty, and overall well-being. Early results are promising. People are less stressed, they're able to pursue their passions, and some are even starting their own businesses. Imagine a world where everyone has a financial safety net, where people are free to pursue their dreams without the constant worry of making ends meet. So if you're looking for a progressive city that's at the forefront of social change, Utrecht should definitely be on your radar. Now, let's head over to Asia, to the dazzling city of Macao, China. Known as the Las Vegas of Asia, Macao is famous for its casinos, luxury hotels, and vibrant nightlife. But here's something you might not know. Macao also shares its wealth with its residents. They have a program called the Wealth Partaking Scheme, which distributes an annual dividend to both permanent and non-permanent residents. The government takes a portion of the casino revenue and gives it back to the people. Plus, living in Macao has its perks. You've got amazing food, a rich culture, and you're just a short ferry ride away from Hong Kong. So if you're feeling lucky and want to experience life in a fast-paced, exciting city, Macao might just be the place for you. Next up, we're heading back up north to the land of saunas, stunning landscapes, and free money? Yes, you heard that right. Finland has been making waves with its own Universal Basic Income (UBI) experiment. In a recent trial, 2,000 unemployed citizens received €560, about $630 every month, regardless of whether they found a job or not. The goal? To see if UBI could reduce poverty, stress, and bureaucracy and boost employment. People reported feeling happier, healthier, and more financially secure. Now, the experiment has ended, but it sparked a global conversation about the potential of UBI. Finland is showing the world that there might be a better way to support its citizens and create a more equitable society. Plus, who wouldn't want to live in a country that's constantly ranked as one of the happiest in the world? Now let's head over to the Middle East, to the oil-rich nation of Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has a ton of oil, and that wealth allows them to provide some pretty generous financial support to their citizens. One way they do this is through the Citizens Account program. The Citizens Account provides cash payments to lower and middle-income families to help them with living expenses. The amount you receive depends on your income level and family size, but it can make a significant difference in people's lives. Plus, Saudi Arabia has been working on diversifying its economy beyond oil, investing in sectors like tourism, technology, and renewable energy. So if you're looking for a country with a strong economy, a rich culture, and a government that's invested in the well-being of its citizens, Saudi Arabia might be worth considering. Next up, we're sticking around the Arabian Gulf and heading over to Kuwait. Like Saudi Arabia, Kuwait is another oil-rich nation that's known for its generosity towards its citizens. Every Kuwaiti citizen receives annual dividends from the country's oil revenues. Once they reach adulthood, Kuwaiti citizens receive a significant grant from the government. This financial support allows Kuwaitis to build a solid foundation for their future. Plus, Kuwait has a lot to offer in terms of lifestyle. You've got beautiful beaches, luxurious shopping malls, and a vibrant cultural scene. So, if you're looking for a country where you can live comfortably and enjoy a high standard of living, Kuwait might just be the place for you. Now, for our next stop, we're heading over to Iran. Iran has been in the news a lot lately, and not always for positive reasons, but beneath the headlines, there's a country with a rich history, a vibrant culture, and a government that's trying to navigate some tough economic times. One way they've been doing that is through a cash transfer program designed to help citizens cope with rising fuel costs. To ease the burden on its citizens, the government has implemented a program that provides direct cash payments to every citizen. The amount isn't huge, but it can make a difference, especially for lower-income families. So, while Iran might not be the first place that comes to mind when you think of countries that give money to their citizens, it's a good example of how governments can use cash transfers to address specific economic challenges. For our next destination, we're heading to the vast steppes of Mongolia. Now, Mongolia might not be the first place that comes to mind when you think of countries with cash giveaway programs, but this landlocked nation is sitting on a wealth of natural resources. To make sure everyone benefits from this natural bounty, Mongolia has established the Human Development Fund. This fund takes a portion of the profits from mining and distributes it directly to the citizens. So if you're someone who loves wide open spaces, nomadic culture, and the idea of getting a yearly check from the country's mining profits, Mongolia might just be the adventure you're looking for. Now let's head back over to North America, to the Canadian province of Alberta. Known for its stunning Rocky Mountain scenery, friendly people, and of course oil, Alberta has a lot to offer. Through the Alberta Heritage Fund, residents can sometimes receive dividends from the province's oil and natural resource revenues. These payments, known as prosperity bonuses, aren't guaranteed every year, but when they do come, they can be a nice little bonus for Albertans. The amount you receive depends on the province's finances and a few other factors, but it's a good example of how some governments are using resource revenues to benefit their citizens directly. So if you're looking for a place with breathtaking scenery, a strong economy, and the chance to receive a little extra cash from time to time, Alberta might just be the place for you. Plus, you'll get to experience the joys of Canadian healthcare and maple syrup. And for our final stop on our world tour of cash giveaway cities, we're heading back to where it all began. Macao, China. Remember Macao? The Las Vegas of Asia, with the wealth partaking scheme that gives residents a share of the casino profits? Well, it turns out Macao is so generous that they made it onto our list twice. In addition to the annual dividend from the wealth partaking scheme, the government sometimes hands out additional cash bonuses. These bonuses are usually given out during years of strong economic growth, when the government has a little extra cash to spread around. So there you have it, folks. Macao is not only a city of dazzling lights, high-stakes gambling, and delicious food, but it's also a city that believes in sharing its wealth with its residents. So there you have it, 10 incredible cities where residents can receive cash just for living there. From oil dividends in Alaska and Kuwait to universal basic income in Finland and Utrecht, these places are putting money in the hands of their residents. Whether it's a yearly dividend, a monthly stipend, or a one-time bonus, these cash giveaways can make a real difference in people's lives. Be sure to subscribe to find out about more unique cities, including those with the fastest internet and even places with an excess of the opposite sex.